All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is just the video to wrap up the trade sequence that I began. As you guys know, we rode through a lot of downside to just to prove a point that short was the likely direction. I still have my lines plotted up there where I was ready to close out the trades at a $200 loss because my organic position in all three of these trades is about $2,100. So to me, just in my mind, it made sense to make my organic capital at risk no greater than 10% of that, right? So as we approach that $210 threshold, relative to these numbers, I was ready to bail. And so I literally drew the yellow line, so I could literally draw my metaphorical line in the sand that said, hey, if we go below this, man, I'm out. So that is what I did. I have some things to do today in Austin, so I did want to wrap this up by simply showing we caught the move to the downside. This is the second time, obviously, that we could catch a profit on this trade. In this case, it actually, just so people can see and be aware where it actually went to. I was on the phone. I was actually jamming with Joel and Gavin while this was going on, both two members in DIIO. But for purposes of just exhibition, this particular Bitcoin trade went to a 27% gain. It's retraced. It'll probably go back down if I'm right. If energies stay the same, probably go back down. Again, purposes of this for me was not to make money. It was more so to narrate all of this to affect and impact and kind of improve the lives of all of our members, as well as to maybe show yet another case study of 4 out of 4 trades being profitable, right, at the end of the day, due to decisions I'm able to make because of technical analysis, because of having great data, because of risk mitigation procedures, that I have in place. So that's mostly, what the purpose of today was. I have just one more thing I'm gonna kind of share. I want you all to be aware. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go ahead and put this take profit somewhere in this range over here, about the $454 mark for these demo trades. And before I close it out, I'm just going to do a few things. I'm going to show everyone what you can do if you just simply want to leave your computer and call it a day. I'm either going to get down to this point, make $454 on this Bitcoin trade, or I'm going to add a stop loss. I'm going to base it on some logic, and I'm going to base it on logic that would leave me profitable as well. And let's see. I'm going to simply use the volatility cloud in the 5-minute time frame, right? This is going to fall. Yeah, it just fell 1. So let me show you what I'm looking at just real quick. So, right, I have to decide what makes sense for me. So here's my volatility cloud in the 5-minute time frame. It was here. 5-minute just closed while I was talking, so it dropped to here, which is good. It just means the 5 is still relatively in a downtrend. So I'm going to go to just a bit above the 5. I'm going to go to 63,111, and that will be my stop loss trigger. 63. Where is it? That's right. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I am looking at the right chart. Okay. 63,100. In fact, yeah, that's right. Okay, what I'm looking at is I just want to make sure that looks about right, right? Again, today wasn't about the money. It's still not really. I'm just going to protect it at a reasonable place. So it's either going to backtrack. I'm going to be off. It's going to have an upward volatility. I'm going to walk away with $60. We'll call it my salary for making this training from at least from Bitcoin, right? And then if I get a bonus, it'll be in the form of $450 for hitting my goals, right? If it happens to proceed to the downside, and then that's where this trigger will be. And so I want to have that at a place that makes sense. So I'm gonna use the 5 for that as well, right? So I'm gonna go to the 5, and I'm just gonna say, like, what happens if I make it about down to here, right? So about that 61.2 range. That's fine. I just want to show that I'm basing it off of some logic. So about that 169 is fine. We call it 454 bucks, 46% return. So if I fail and I lose, I'm going to make 6.5%. If I win, I'm going to make $454, right? The bigger success was not having to lose during the moment of volatility, not having to spend $200 to make this training video for the benefit of members. That was the bigger win for me. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I have the option. Actually, I shouldn't have moved it. I have the option to make this a stop loss or a trailing stop loss. I'm going to go ahead and just make it a regular stop loss, right? Because maybe we fall, maybe we have some volatility. I don't want to get wicked out because the trailing stop loss is hovering. So reason I'm making this video is to show you now I have a take profit plan and a stop loss plan. You can see overall, thankfully, doing much better than when I was at negative $90 on this particular Bitcoin trade. So now I can walk away, I can go to Austin for the weekend and not have any challenge here. Avax had a tiny little trade, 50 bucks, just kind of wanted to prove a point on Avax, wanted to also prove that these assets are mostly just following Bitcoin today. They are absolutely just following. And so Avax, I'm not going to do TA to figure out where my take profit and stop will be. I kind of don't care. This is a negligible trade. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know, it's kind of funny what I would do. Let's go, we'll confirm this, right? It's gonna bring up the Avax chart. It'll print on the Avax chart. And so I'm gonna go to the Avax chart, kind of check out where these things dropped. So there it is. Okay, I do not want to leave, not that it's a lot of money, but in principle for everybody, I do not want to leave, any money on the table where I'm going to lose money, like my stop loss. It doesn't make sense to leave it in a position of loss. So I'm going to make what's more important is the lesson, right? I'm going to make my 4.28%. And then if I'm a winner on AVAX, I'm going to make my 10 bucks. I'm going to make it even less aggressive because it makes it easier to hit, and because I don't really care about 8 or 10 bucks. Like I'm definitely happy either way. It's fine. I'll either buy a Diet Coke or I'll buy something for 8 bucks. Okay, so that's number 2, right? But what I'm really showing is that I have now protected these trades, right? I'm going to leave. I can walk away, not really worried about my position. I'm going to take my money off the table if they fluctuate to where I'm in the negative, right? So now we're going to look at the final, which is Ethereum. Remember, Ethereum at one point in time was 40 bucks in the red. I think maybe even higher, maybe 60 bucks in the red during moments of volatility. So on this one, just because it has the potential to be a little more meaningful, I will do a little TA. I'm going to, on this one, add, let's do a trailing stop by rate. I just personally like to do by rate. Let's go 1%, and that sets my trigger up here. That's fine. I mostly just want to have my trigger at a place where I'm profitable, right? So it's right there. I just, like I said, I'm not too worried about this position. It's going to follow the price of Ethereum downward, right? And so when I look over here at my ETH chart and I go, what do I really expect to happen with ETH based on pressure lines, based on algos, all that jazz? I can pull it up. I can kind of share it with you. I would say ETH has the potential. You can see how it's moving on all these charts. So if this is the bottom of the 5-minute channel where I'm at, and it's pretty much right here on this channel, then I'm just going to say 3182 is probably highly probable. If we look at the 6 hour, it's slightly above. So I'm going to go right there, 31 right? Because there was a volatility cloud support right there. So we're going to call the stop loss, or excuse me, the take profit. What did I say? 31.94. So okay, 31. Sometimes you just have to manually do it, right? So 115 bucks or whatever the trailing stop loss does to protect me, right? So I'm going to walk away. It's fun, right? It's a little bit of uncertainty. Am I going to walk away with, 12 bucks or something, or am I going to walk away with 115 bucks? But I wanted to show how to walk away, or at least how I walk away from my positions. Not a whole lot at risk from the beginning. $2,100 thrown into the space. At my max, I was willing to lose about $210 across the board, counting every penny of loss from all three of these. All three were opened in front of your eyes, and here's the end result. Again, I don't always have to go through that negative volatility to get my result, but this is honestly, I think, the only video that I've created where I was able, to capture that moment, capture the footage of that moment. So whatever, the balance is in my account, it should be like quite a bit higher by the time this is over. I do not have to watch it anymore. I'm not attached to money to where I even care that much, right? I'm going to either make pennies or I'm going to make dollars, is one of my favorite phrases about this space. So I hope that the Bitcoin short expands to 450. I hope the Avax short expands to $10. And I hope the Ethereum short expands to $100, right? That's like my best case scenario, $660. So other than that, though, we'll call it a day. Another amazing video, 4 trades out of 4 trades, profitable. You got to see what it's like to be a trader in real time. I've not seen too many people share that sort of thing, much less narrate it. I've never seen either, to be honest. So I hope people can wrap their head around what we do, how it works. You have a better idea of the algos. We are going to be soon offering subscriptions to groups, and they will not necessarily be a part of the community. They just may subscribe to the algos specifically at the same group rate as everyone else in the community. It's a part of the mastermind, but it'll be a focus, on the algos. And then, of course, we're opening up phase 2 for people to join the actual mastermind, and so they would be obviously a part of the community. But in the meantime, for anyone watching this, feel free to go to the back end of our diioelite.com website, where all of our videos are housed, and you can watch as much as you want. You can watch a detailed breakdown on all of the algos, and so forth and so on. So thanks for tuning in. Very long video today, but again, I feel like these are going to make for some really great content that will not need to be rebuilt in the future, because this shows and offers so much, just in the form of great lessons and great insight, so that people can experience it without necessarily having to make some of the mistakes. They can kind of see what it's like, make decisions to avoid negative volatility to a greater degree if they want to, right? I could have sold, I could have had a 10% stop loss, but I chose to trade this manually for everyone's benefit, and I guess we'll see where we end up. But I think confirmation of success in move to the downside came to fruition, right? Trend Sniper, tracking trends, and everything you saw in the Confluence monitor is completely responsible for that, as are pressure lines and breakout bars and movement monitors from the DIIO algo universe. So, all right, thanks guys. Have a great day. Another great meeting. Take care.